Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Gonna read my latest Substack that I worked on last night and a little bit today, or finished it up this morning. Just now got it finished up. I hope I can get this recorded and published in time to catch Badlands Media Daily at 10 a.m. I got 20 minutes, so let's get on with it. The assault on American elections, a conservative call to action. The integrity of our elections is the bedrock of our democracy, yet it's under relentless attack from both foreign and domestic, from forces both foreign and domestic. As conservatives, we long warned about the creeping threats of election fraud, foreign interference, and political schemes designed to undermine the will of the American people. The 2024 election cycle has laid bare these dangers, from untraceable cash card donations flooding campaign coffers to Chinese operatives meddling in our ballots and domestic targets like ranked choice or tactics like ranked choice voting and ballot harvesting. It's time to face these threats head on, expose the truth, and demand a return to secure, transparent elections. Foreign interference through Act Blue and Win Red. One of the most alarming vulnerabilities in our electoral system is the way foreign actors can exploit campaign finance loopholes. Platforms like Act Blue and Win Red, which process donations for Democratic and Republican campaigns, respectively, have been accepting contributions from prepaid cash cards. These cards are often untraceable, easily purchased in bulk, and lack the oversight needed to ensure the money comes from American citizens. Imagine a foreign government or a network of hostile elites quietly funneling millions into our elections, swaying candidates and campaigns without anyone noticing. While direct evidence of widespread abuse is still emerging, the risk is undeniable. Our elections are a target, and anonymous donations are a wide open backdoor for influence. Chinese meddling, from consulates to fake ballots. The interference doesn't stop at money. It extends to the ballots themselves. In 2020, the FBI uncovered a chilling evidence of Chinese attempts to rig our elections. When 2 Chinese consulates were raided, agents found operatives burning massive amounts of paperwork to cover their tracks. Everything in red is a hyperlink. Intercepted calls back to Beijing revealed panicked requests for more ballots, only to be told they were out of the correct paper. This wasn't a minor operation, and remember that part, out of the correct paper. It wasn't a calculated plot to flood our system with fake mail-in ballots, complete with counterfeit driver's licenses to back them up. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol seized nearly 20,000 fake licenses, hinting at the scale of the scheme. Okay. The evidence doesn't end there. Across the country, reports surfaced of ballots that were the wrong size, lacked proper alignment markings, or were printed on incorrect paper. These irregularities aren't accidents. They're signs of tampering, potentially tied to the Chinese operation. While the full extent of this interference is still being unraveled, give Patel and Bondi a little bit more time. We want this to be open and shut, right? It's clear that foreign powers are willing to go to extraordinary lengths to disrupt our democracy. Cue theories turned factual, a movement vindicated. For years, the QAnon movement was mocked as a fringe conspiracy group. Its claims about election rigging and foreign plots dismissed as fantasy, but recent revelations like the Chinese ballot scheme have given these theories a disturbing ring of truth. Not every Q prediction has panned out so far, but the core idea that our elections are under attack from shadowy forces, both foreign and domestic, is no longer far-fetched. The FBI's findings about China's actions align eerily with what Q followers have long alleged. This doesn't mean every wild claim is gospel, but it does mean the movement's focus on election integrity has been legitimized in ways the mainstream media refuse to acknowledge. Ranked choice voting, a new way to cheat. And they stole the Alaska election right away from Chewbacca and gave it to Murkowski. Domestically, the push for ranked choice voting, RCV, is being sold as a fairer system, but it's really a new avenue for manipulation. Used in states like Maine and Alaska, RCV lets voters rank candidates in order of preference, with votes redistributed until a winner emerges. Sounds democratic, right? Nah, think again. The process is confusing to voters, opaque in execution, and ripe for abuse. The close races, the way votes are tallied, can be gamed, and the lack of transparency leaves room for fraud. It's not about giving voters more choice. It's about creating a system that's easier to rig under the guise of progress. And they just outright stole the Alaska election away from Chewbacca and gave it back to Murkowski. Chewbacca had the election won. She won it by a very large margin, but then they threw in that ranked choice voting, which brings in all the, basically it ensures that senators and members of Congress can keep their jobs regardless if the people of the state vote for somebody else. It's just another way of rigging it. Ballot harvesting, fraud in plain sight. Then there's ballot harvesting, a practice that's become a lightning rod in the fraud debate. This allows third parties, campaign workers, activists, anyone to collect and submit ballots on behalf of voters. Proponents say it boosts turnout, but the reality is far uglier. Harvesters can pursue vulnerable people, cherry-pick ballots from friendly areas, or even lose votes from opposing strongholds. The Heritage Foundation election fraud database is littered with cases where ballot harvesting led to convictions, proof that it's not just a theory, but a documented threat. It's a system begging for abuse, and it's time we shut it down. The Uniparty's dirty secret: illegal immigrants and power. Perhaps the most cynical scheme comes from the so-called Uniparty, the bipartisan establishment that benefits from keeping illegal immigrants in the country. Why? Because they're counted in the census, which determines how many congressional seats each state gets. More bodies means more seats, and more seats means more power. It's not about compassion or humanitarianism. It's a cold, hard numbers game. States with large illegal populations gain electoral seats in Congress, giving them more power and clout, diluting the votes of legal citizens. Both parties have their reasons to play along, but the result is the same. Our democracy gets sold out for political gain. The fix? hand counting, voter ID, and common sense. To save our elections, we need to ditch the gimmicks and get back to basics. First, we should return to hand counting ballots. Electronic voting machines are vulnerable to hacking and glitching. Paper ballots, counted by human hands, are harder to manipulate and easier to verify. Yes, it's a little slower, but accuracy beats speed when the stakes are this high. And how can the electronic voting machines, the counting machines, be considered faster if it takes them 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks past the due date to come up with a number? That's, yeah. Second, we need a national voter ID law. Showing ID to vote isn't a burden, it's a safeguard. The only country that in this world that does not require voter ID is the USA. Every major democracy requires it, and for good reason. It stops fraud dead in its tracks. But the Democrat Party cries, racism, claiming minorities can't get IDs because they're too dumb to figure it out or don't know where to go. And I put a very good link in here about this. I would play it, but I want to get done so I can go watch Badlands Daily. That's not just nonsense, it's insulting. Minorities are just as capable as anyone else of getting a driver's license or state ID. The real reason Democrats fight voter ID, it makes cheating harder. They'd rather keep the system loose than secure. And they'll hide behind baseless accusations to do it. My conclusion, no more excuses. Our elections are under siege, from foreign cash flooding Act Blue and Win Red to Chinese operatives burning evidence and fake ballots to domestic tricks like ranked choice voting and ballot harvesting. The uniparty's game with illegal immigrants only deepens the rot. We can't keep pretending these conspiracy theories, they're facts. We can't keep pretending that these are conspiracy theories. They're facts staring us directly in the face. As conservatives, we owe it to our great republic to fight for elections that are fair, transparent, and secure. Hand counting ballots and voter ID laws aren't radical, they're common sense. The future of our great republic depends on it. We have to act before it's too late. Okay. Let me get back here. Let's see. It is 9:57. I got done just in the nick of time to catch Badlands Daily, and this video is little over 13 minutes long. I got a couple of minutes, so what I'm saying is, we've got to just keep exposing everything the way we have been, and in the midterms, we need to show up in force and vote like we did in the presidential election in 2020, so that it will be almost impossible for the left to steal the midterms away from Trump. And also we have, if we want serious change to happen in America, we have to give President Trump a supermajority in Congress during midterm elections. This way, with a supermajority in Congress, this ensures that all the laws or all the bills President Trump wants passed into law gets passed into law and then brought to his desk for his signature. A supermajority in Congress means we have more than enough people in the House and over two-thirds of the vote in the Senate. That way, it ensures, because the Senate can overturn a presidential veto by a 2/3 vote. So if we control 2/3 of the Senate, that means we can get all the laws passed that we need in order to safeguard our elections in the future, which is the most important thing we have right now, is safeguarding our elections. We have to do that. If we don't do that, I feel sorry for my children and grandchildren, and they're my great grandchildren if I live long enough to see any. But yeah, we got to get our elections under control, folks. Plain and simple. And President Trump is our best bet. That's why giving him a supermajority during the midterm elections is so vital. I mean, it's not like voting harder. I'm talking about voting in mass. Get out. When you go to vote, bring at least 3 people with you to go vote. Make sure we overwhelm the system like we did in 2020 so that they can't cheat and steal it away from us. All right. That's it for now. Y'all have a great and blessed day. I'll see y'all later.